So we all want those Juicy Kjarr Weapons from Arch Tempered Kulve Taroth. And as we mentioned in our guide on P1ing Arch Tempered Kulve Taroth, all of our meta videos about the builds for Arch Tempered Kulve Taroth, and pretty much every stream we've ever done for Arch Tempered Kulve Taroth, P1s are the most efficient way to farm the weapons. However, at P1, Arch Tempered Kulve Taroth still has 50,000 Horn HP after the Horn chip. This is a lot of damage to deal, which is why CC or crowd control is very helpful for getting consistent P1 clears. But how do you CC chain Arch Tempered Kulve Taroth? Well, I'm JinJinx, one of the Monster Hunter math guys, and this is a guide to CC chaining Arch Tempered Kulve Taroth. Now, this video is going to be quite long because we're going to talk about a few things you need to know before you can do CC chains, and we're also going to be covering 3 different combos. And for each of these combos, we'll be covering the combo on paper, a live demonstration with voiceover, and a live demonstration without voiceover. I figured this would be the best setup for you guys to absorb all the information, but it does mean the video is going to be quite long. So timestamps for the different combos will be in the description for easy reference. So if you've ever caught one of my streams, you've probably noticed that 98% of the time I am playing CC in Area 4. Over all of this time, I have tried and tested over 20 or so different combos. I've worked out a few that are relatively easy to learn because they're low mechanical skill floor while also not overlapping CC too much. Overlapping CC is bad because it means DPS have less time to hit the horns. But before we get into the combos, it is important for you to learn KO Knut spacing. Landing KO Knuts is imperative to getting the second KO on ATKT. Now, ATKT has a massive fucking head. With all that real estate, there is a lot of space for your KO Knuts to land. But there is a max distance away from her where your KO Knuts will miss her head. So I recommend going into the training area and using the training pole to practice the power shot KO Knut spam and see what the spacing looks like. And once you're comfortable with this, go into a solo siege, drop rocks in area 1 on ATKT and practice it on her there. Alright, let's talk CC chains. So unlike old KT, there isn't just one combo you use to CC her. The complicated thing about CC chaining ATKT is that you have to change your combo depending on what kind of team comp you are running and how much KO damage they put out. Unlike old KT, you aren't going to be CC chaining her solo. Technically you can, but the second KO is super tight solo. You can do it and we will teach you how to, but it does leave little room for error. That's why it's a lot more consistent to have your teammates cover your ass by doing KO damage as well. So I'll be covering 3 combos in this guide. One for having no KO at all on your team, this is the solo CC chain. One for having 1 dual blades with Impact Mantle on your team, and one for having 2 dual blades with Impact Mantle on your team. Now, I'm using the dual blades as a measure of impact damage because A, they are the triple S tier meta DPS weapon for Area 4, so ideally you should be running at least one anyway. And other than bow and heavy bowgun, when dual blades have an Impact Mantle on, they deal the most KO damage out of any weapon, yes, including hammer. An Impact Mantle hammer spamming Big Bang will deal less than 1/5 the KO per second of a dual blades with Impact Mantle. Of course, Golf Swing is normally the KO combo for hammer, but you can't Golf Swing against ATKT because you'll be launching your teammates constantly. Plus, Big Bang does more damage. Now, if you don't have any dual blades in your team, well, unfortunately, I haven't gone through and tested every weapon in the game for their Impact Mantle KO per second. But in that case, just have every single DPS slot run an Impact Mantle, and that'll roughly equal 1 dual blades of Impact Mantle KO per second. Or you can just do the solo CC chain combo and consider any KO your team deals as a bonus. KOs might come a little bit fast, but at least they'll come, which is better than not coming. So all of these combos use the same base CC chain. As we've mentioned in pretty much every ATKT video we've done in the past, you can't realistically get a second sleep or second para on ATKT. This means the chain now looks like this: Sleep, Fury Roar, Mount, KO, Para, KO. Now, thanks to the Hello World overlay mod for Monster Hunter World I am using, I can now get precise values for the thresholds and application of status and KO per attacks. So for the first sleep, this is a threshold of 300. So 3 max level dash dances is enough to give us the first sleep. Now when ATKT transitions to Area 4, she cannot be slept or interrupted in any way. So during this transition animation, I like to buffer the sleep all the way to max. This means if I tickle her with sleep in Area 4, she will instantly fall asleep. This lets me control her sleep timing and positioning very easily. On the sleep, we do quad bombing like detailed in our ATKT P1 guide. We then let her Fury roar before continuing the chain. The reason we let her Fury roar first is because when ATKT is enraged, she takes 20% more damage to the horns. This extra 20% damage helps us consistently break the horns during the CC chain. Next up is the mount. We'll normally buffer the mount build up in area 1 with 3 to 4 light bowgun aerials on the head. These each deal 55 mounting damage and her mounting threshold is 225. 4 light bowgun aerials puts her at 220 out of 225, meaning that even a bow arrow stab can mount her in one hit. Mounting damage is the only CC buildup in the game that does not decay over time, so that 220 will persist from area 1 to area 4. If your team can coordinate well enough to get this mounting buildup done, you don't even necessarily need a mounting specific hunter in area 4. Now the mount onwards is where the combo differs. Let's cover the solo CC chain one first. So the first KO and the para are 1400 threshold respectively and fairly easy to get solo. The difficult part is getting the second KO at a threshold of 2500. This means the solo CCJ combo is about getting as much KO as possible during the paralysis. The paralysis lasts 12 seconds and you also have 3 seconds of standing up time before ATKT can move again. This means you have the challenge of dealing 2500 KO damage in 15 seconds, a tall order, but not an impossible one. So first let's discuss the combo so we know what to look for when we watch the live demonstration. During the mountdown, you want to do a ramp combo into a level 4 coconut into a level 4 power shot into another ramp combo. If every single arrow and every single coconut lands, you will just barely KO her with this. However, it is entirely possible for spread shot arrows to go in between her horn holes and not hit her head, so it's not always going to happen. But this combo does leave us with 2 seconds left, so you can fit in another ramp combo before she can start moving again in case you missed some arrows. We focus mostly on ramp combos here because they use the least amount of stamina and we want to save as much stamina as possible for the second KO. Once the KO is triggered, we switch to para coatings. We do another ramp combo, and during this ramp combo, try to move up closer to her head so you don't have to dash up as much once you start spamming coconuts. After the ramp combo, just mash the circle button. In other words, just spam coconut power shot, etc. After the ramp combo, it'll take 3 power shots in order for you to get the paralysis off. This lets us have 3 coconuts already going before the paralysis triggers. They won't be full duration coconuts, but every little bit helps when it comes to getting that 2500 KO threshold. At this point during the paralysis, you are still just spamming circle and occasionally dashing forward as you need to. You're just trying to land as many coconuts as you can on her head at this point. If you are solo CC chaining, do not expect to get a KO before she starts standing up. Those 3 seconds of stand-up time are generally needed in order for the KO to trigger. Alright, so let's look at the live demonstration of this. Also, I picked a clip where I missed quite a few arrows on my spread shots. I chose this one because it shows how even if you do have a few things going wrong, you can still get the solo CC chain. As you can see, the mount is about to finish. I have my affinity booster and impact mantle out, and I'm positioning myself fairly close to where the horns are going to land to make sure that my ramp combo lands. So I start off with a basic ramp combo, followed by a level 4 coconut and power shot. I then move up slightly closer and do another ramp combo. Remember, you can move slightly during ramp combos to reposition. At this point, I've missed quite a few arrows on ATKT's head. As you can see, I'm 189 KO away from getting the first KO. So I just do another ramp combo to cover the difference. First KO triggers, I switch to para coatings and do a ramp combo. After the ramp combo, you're just mashing circle for coconuts into power shots. It takes 3 power shots to paralyze, but you may miss arrows and need a 4th like I do right here. At this point, you're basically just spamming power shot into coconuts and dashing up as you need to. Prioritize coconuts landing over power shots landing because they deal significantly more KO damage. As you can see, she starts to get up at this point, but the KO still lands because the coconuts are still hitting her on the head as she stands up. At this point, just unga bunga and hit the horns until they break. In this clip, we had the worst possible landing position for her mounts. It's almost impossible for me to not miss arrows on her head because of the way her head is angled versus the wall I'm backed against. So hopefully this shows how even with that terrible RNG, you can still get a solo CC chain. Alright, let's replay that again without me talking over it this time.
Okay.
That's kind of...
Oh god, this angle, why?
Evasion prop.
Alright, nice shot.
Good night, Aka. Good night, Aka. Well, you're playing from your office or something?
Yeah, I walked into work just so that I could have internet and play games.
Nice.
Work gave me keys, okay, under the proviso knowing that I would come here to play games. I don't see what the problem is.
And KO.
Alright, next up let's cover the combo for when you have one dual blades with Impact Mantle worth of KO on your team. This is probably the one you'll end up doing the most. It's pretty easy to get at least one dual blades in your team and have them run Impact Mantle, and if you have no dual blades on your team and all 3 of your teammates run Impact Mantle, they'll have about the same KO as one dual blades. So let's cover the whole combo before the live demonstration. So once KT is down from the mount, you do one ramp combo, you wait 4 to 5 seconds, and you do a second ramp combo. If you don't wait 4 to 5 seconds before the second ramp combo, you'll end up tripping the KO fairly early because the dual blades alone do deal about 500 KO damage during the mount down. Now that the first KO is triggered, you want to put on your paralysis coating, do 2 ramp combos in a row, and then finish off with a level 4 coconut and level 4 power shot. This will buffer 1 coconut before the paralysis triggers, which is about how much you need to get a clean second KO. Now, if you end up missing a few arrows and the paralysis doesn't trigger on that power shot, don't worry, just shoot another coconut and another power shot. And at this point, once the paralysis triggers, same thing, just spam coconuts and power shots and dash up forward when you need to. Alright, let's take a look at the live demonstration. Again, not the cleanest CC chain to show you how it will still work even if things go a little wrong. So Affinity Booster and Impact Mantle are active, waiting for the mount to finish. And yes, Tuna does deal 59 KO damage here, but that's less than the last power shot in the combo will overkill it by, so it doesn't make a difference. So we start with a nice ramp combo. Wait 4 to 5 seconds afterwards, and then ramp combo again to trigger the KO. Switch to para coatings, and then do a ramp combo. Do another ramp combo, this will leave her 1 power shot away from being paralyzed. And then coconut power shot to trigger the KO and get that 1 coconut buffered. And then we just spam coconut power shot, dashing up occasionally if we need to. It's really hard to tell with all the special effects, but I do actually miss a coconut here. Either way, we still get the KO off because the way I've positioned my coconuts, they still hit her horns as she's standing up. And then Unga Bunga until the horns break. Alright, once again, let's watch that through again without me talking over it so you can see what it looks like in its totality. One, two, three, 4. Sorry for the clicking noise, someone on voice chat was tapping something and I can't remove it from the game audio. But this combo is probably the easiest to pull off mechanically because it's almost all ramp up combos. And ramp up combos let you position yourself nicely for coconut spacing. Finally, we have the combo for when you have 2 dual blades running Impact Mantle in your team. Now, personally, the 2 combos we just covered are my personal favorites. This is because they put the most control over the KO timings in your own hands. This means if your teammates mess up and Demon Dance late, you still have more control over whether the KO happens or not. But there is a distinct advantage to using this particular combo we're about to cover and having 2 dual blades with Impact Mantle. So if you have 2 dual blades in your team with Impact Mantle, even if they don't eat for Feline Slugger or run the Slugger skill, they can still get the first KO by themselves during the mount down. This enables the bow to basically just shoot the horns the entire time the mount is happening and get a bunch of free damage on ATKT. Normally you can't do this because you're wearing Impact Mantle to help get the first KO. So the combo basically goes, while the mount is going on, you just shoot the head as much as you physically can. And then once she lands from the mount down, you do a ramp up combo into a coconut into a ramp up combo. Now the coconut is optional because your 2 dual blades can get the KO by themselves, but if they are even a little bit late on Demon Dancing the horns when she falls down, they will miss the KO. The coconut in the middle just helps secure the KO. After that, you put on your Impact Mantle immediately and put on para coatings. The way the timing works out, this pretty much puts on the para coatings immediately as the KO happens. Then during the first KO, you'll do a ramp combo into a dash dance into another ramp combo. Assuming that you land all of your arrows, this makes the para trigger the moment the KO is over. And we don't want to buffer any coconuts before the para triggers like we did on the previous combos because your teammates will be supplying so much KO damage. At this point, the para will trigger and you're just going to be spamming coconuts and power shots like on the previous combos. Alright, let's take a look at a live demonstration of it then. So, Affinity Booster is down, but we do not have Impact Mantle on yet. We spend the time waiting for the mount down, just shooting her head a bit. As soon as she lands, we do a ramp combo. Followed by a Coconut and another ramp combo. As soon as the ramp combo is over, we put on our Impact Mantle and para coatings as fast as we can. Next we do a ramp combo. Followed by a dash dance. And finally another ramp combo. And then finally our trademark coconut spam. In this particular run, I managed to wedge myself against a wall, which means I never have to dash up, so the KO does come a little bit early. By a little bit early, I mean 1 second early, but still a little bit early. And of course, Unga Bunga till the horns break. Alright, let's play that back again without me talking over it so you can see the combo in its totality again.
There we go, that's a better mount.
Well, since I'm not using Impact
Off the
Mantle,
wall.
I can just shoot the head while we're waiting.
78 damage. Well, that's a very far spot.
Yeah. Further than the
We're
rocks.
kind of iffy on the falling rocks.
The only person that might die is you.
Yep.
I have no real desire to
Sorry,
fight.
This is para.
That's a ridiculous.
How far is second KO?
We're good. But yes, those are all of the combos for all of the different KO levels that your team comp may have. Realistically, you can just use the solo CC chain each time. The only issue is that you will end up overlapping KO a lot if your teammates are running Impact Mantle. This means either the mount or the para will have less CC time because you trigger the KO too early. Now, I know that we do always break the horns very early into the second KO in all of these clips, but that's also because Fly T is running a Heroics Dual Blades build because he's a fucking madman. Either way, it is fairly difficult to hit the damage you need to break the horns during the CC chain, so you ideally do not want to overlap your KOs as much as possible. Hence why there is something to be gained from learning all three of these combos. Another thing to keep in mind, these are not optimal speedrunners CC chains. I specifically designed these chains to be the easiest possible to learn and the hardest to f**k up. But yeah, that's all I got for you this time, guys. With this guide, you should have all the tools you need to consistently P1 ATKT. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave it a like. And if these CC chains helped you get some Juicy Kjarr Weapons, let us know which ones in the comments. Thank you as always to Honey for making the tools we use to make sets. And if you'd like to find some people to do ATKT with, be sure to check out our Discord server, the Mathalos Nest. We have a very large pool of PC and PS4 hunters looking to group up. Be sure to check out our Twitter where we put out updates about videos and just random things that interest us. And be sure to check out Tuna on Twitch. He does stream Monster Hunter World and other games almost every day, and he has been doing a lot of ATKT lately. If you want to see live demonstrations of P1s, be sure to check him out. And if you want to help support us with bringing out this content to you guys, be sure to check out our Patreon. And an especially big thank you to Ray Enriquez, Xponage, XCLK07, Hiker, Milky Powder, Muhammad, Yoshi Cho, John Cohen, Lithoboli, Robin, Bram Orsel, Lightweight, Skylar Yang, Checkleman, Lupin, Mongus, Zinv, Lord Sidone, Rodolph, Jamie, and everyone else on Patreon who supports us. Thank you guys so much. Your generosity literally keeps this channel alive. Anyway, we have plenty more ATKT videos as well as plenty other videos on the way. So be sure to smash that subscribe button. Or you know, don't. Up to you. Either way, we'll see you guys in the next one. Happy hunting, hunters. Bye.